Pick a card. How are you silencing the critics? Here are your options, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Griselle, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this beautiful image on the right-hand side of your screen. How are you silencing your critics? How are you silencing the critics is the reading. And basically the downloads were pretty simple, but very clear for you. I feel like you are more open than ever before. And you might be giving them the cold shoulder because their shoulder is being featured, right? I also feel like you carry and wear your scars very well, whatever that means to you. So maybe you indeed have some tattoos that reflect what has gone on in the past, or maybe perhaps things that you've been criticized about. People are starting to notice and become silent because you're wearing it as a badge of honor. So you're no longer hiding things like that. I'm going to go ahead and do your shuffle. If this sounds like you, pile number 1, I'll see you in a bit. Pile number 1, thank you again for being here. I want to thank all of you guys for participating, all the likes, shares, comments, subscribes, shout outs. I am like super honored. Pile number 1, how are you silencing the critics? You have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the 7 of Swords reversed. You have the Star. And you have the 3 of Wands reversed. Right off the bat, I'm going to say that with these 2 cards right here, pile number 1, you are no longer waiting. I feel like you had paused for the cause, right? You made an assessment. You made an evaluation. You really looked to see what exactly it is that you were fighting for. Maybe making moves out in the dark. Now you are more visible. So whatever that is, whatever you were keeping to yourself and ruminating over and thinking, well, yeah, it's like this guy's blushing or this person's blushing. Could be a girl, a little bit androgynous, doesn't make a difference. And I'm going to say that maybe perhaps you are currently blushing because whatever it is that you are working on so hard, it is brought to the forefront. An example can be like, you know, I've done tarot for years, many, many years, and I did have a channel, another channel called PsychicMD, and I could never get it monetized. Very difficult. But now I went ahead and launched this one just as a tester to see what that was all about, and my theory was correct. So it could be something as simple as that. It could be something that you're bringing to the forefront that the world is finally seeing and you're no longer hiding. Because with the 7 of Swords, that indicates to me like the lone wolf. This is, I'm going to do what I got to do. The 2 7s present can mean something to you. You could be seeing a lot of like 77 or 777. You guys could also, because I get like gambling, you know, with slot machines. Not that I really gamble much. But I'm going to say that you took a gamble on yourself and you're silencing the critics now because maybe perhaps you had to do things like undercover brother without people knowing because you thought that somebody would criticize you, or somebody told you that's child's play, leave it alone, you need to think like an adult, or and so on and so forth, right? That's why I left it blanket open to critics. Now, I'm not saying these people necessarily meant to harm you or hurt you, although it could be in some cases. But a lot of times we do have, you know, people in our lives like criticizing us, and it could be even those silent judgy faces, right, that we see. But this is meant to address that, so I don't want to make this reading negative in spite of the title. I'm just going to say that now you are following your North Star. I feel like people didn't really understand this about you, or maybe you were trying to conform to other people's template of what you should be doing, are the right way of doing things. And now I feel like you are definitely following your North Star, your dream, dancing to the beat of your own drum, and so on and so forth. I feel like you are currently in the public eye. So you could have a platform, or you could be like in theater or movies, or somehow, some way you are visible. So it could be as simple as like I'm in the optical field, so I'm an optician by trade. And it could be something as simple as somebody working in the lab coming to the forefront, and now they work with the public. They're an optician now, or, you know, whatever. So you're going to apply this because these are general readings. But pile number one, I'm going to say that whatever it is has you shining. Whatever it is that you are currently doing, you're silencing the critics because they realize that you're no longer waiting on them. I feel like you have spent a lot of time deliberating, a lot of time being in the back seat, a lot of time being not in the spotlight, allowing other people to shine, a lot of time minimizing yourself. And now, currently, I feel like there have been many tears shed, by the way, because I get that feeling from here. And if that's the case, then a big old hug to you. That's never a lot of fun. But I'm going to say that you're no longer waiting. You're no longer waiting for your ships to come in. You're no longer waiting for approval. You're no longer waiting for somebody to give you permission to be like, yeah, go ahead and shine, pile number one, because you realize that that's just not going to happen. I feel like pile number one, you could even feel like, even though you're shining or you're being the best that you can be, and you feel content because you are on your North Node, you like true path, right? I also feel like there's like an obstacle right here that you see, or at your back, or maybe you're looking a little bit too much at what you have lost in the process of this shine. Because sometimes when you strive to do your very best, or you change the game and you're like, okay, I'm no longer going to be baby in the corner. I'm going to be doing, you know, I'm going to be dancing, whatever. I'm going to be front and center, and I'm going to shine. I'm going to allow myself to be seen and viewed, and so on and so forth. I feel like other people take it negatively, especially if you are used to like giving them center stage, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to default to this person because they know more, or they're better, or they're the older sister, or they're the parent, or I've been told, you know, that I talk too much because, you know, it undermined other people around. You're no longer like defaulting to the back seat. Once again, I keep getting the back seat, so that could have something to do with it. But regardless, it seems like sometimes, even currently, that you have insurmountable obstacles. But I'm just going to say that you've overcome so much already, pile number one, that really it's going to be your time to look up at the stars yourself and just see how much you've overcome and how much you have fought long and hard to be able to obtain this position, you know, this ability to follow your dreams or follow your heart, whatever the case is, right? And that it may seem slow, and it may seem like, gosh, I'm always fighting a battle and there's always an obstacle in front. But I promise you, pile number one, that once this obstacle is over with, whatever it is that you feel like you're at a stalemate on currently, or the next big step that you have to do, it's going to be so very worth it that you'll not even think about it, because you're not even really super considering all the paces you did to get to this star. All right. So let's see. The intention with these is the past. So how are you silencing your critics? If you do like this kind of reading and my content, please do take a moment to like, share, comment, subscribe. I think less than 20% of my viewers are subscribed, so definitely appreciate your support. And click that bell and make sure that you can see me again if you indeed intend on doing so. Pile number one, with the King of Swords and the Two of Cups, I'm going to say that this could be involving people that were really quick to judge, quick to wield that sword. Maybe perhaps they had a connection to foxes or wolves. Consider, yeah, with the King of Swords, this to me is almost like a parent. It could be a paternal parent. It could also be connections that were really ambiguous, but you felt emotionally tied to, right? These bunnies I almost feel like this is flames, and these bunnies are cooking in these cups. So, and with the moon right here, I feel like this is following your intuition. So maybe intuitively you felt like held back or repressed or oppressed or opposed by these people from your past. And with the leaves falling, something about fall could have something to do with it. or this relationship, these connections could have fallen in order for you to be the best version of you. And you know, it doesn't have to be anything like major or massive. It could be simply, quote unquote, having like the people in silent competition with you, or the silent haters, and so on and so forth, who really are more focused on when you trip or when you fall or when you scuff your knee, and they're like, oh, look, yeah, oh, well, that happened, huh? Almost like I told you so energy, but never your biggest fan when things are going right. So pile number one, good for you for picking your dream, picking you. In the end, pile number one, always remember that these people have picked themselves a long time ago. And this is just a new shift and a new feeling, because I felt really anxious and uncomfortable right when I started rolling film for your pile especially. So if you're in this energy that you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're not, you know, it's like things are shifting and changing, and you've made options and choices and things are on the right trajectory, but you still feel kind of wobbly or weird about it. Keep in mind that every Bambi, every deer that's born definitely has to get through the wobbly legs syndrome, right? And so we all have that time and that period where we're just, you know, trying new things and figuring things out. Just allow it to be what it is and appreciate the moment, because you're definitely on the right trajectory. And how you are silencing your critics with the 10 of Swords and the 5 of Swords. So pile number one, I'm going to say, keep in mind, this is all perspective. I feel, pile number one, that your critics feel like you outmaneuvered them, that all of a sudden you made choices and it's like, oh, it's regardless of how I feel about things, you know, especially if they were sitting pretty, or if they had the 90% vote on what transpires in your life or what you did, or if they weighed heavily upon it. Now these people are feeling betrayed. They're feeling kind of savage. They're feeling angry. They're feeling like they want to grab the sword even by the middle, which is like crazy, because you can definitely cut yourself, right? And pile number one, the 10 of Swords right here, they feel like this was a harsh ending. This was a harsh lesson. It's almost like you had your hands in everything and they couldn't see and they were blinded. And now, frankly, pile number one, I feel like they are suffering their own betrayal. Like they're starting to see, almost like projecting, you know, well, you betrayed me, or with the 5 of Swords, you chose yourself. How dare you? With a hyena and a heckler, this could be somebody in your life that like really, again, undercover heckled you, that sort of a thing. Try to discourage you by saying, oh, you want to be interior designer? Wow. Okay, well, good for you. And I'll support you, of course. But in the meantime, they're kind of like with their negative thoughts, projecting evil upon you and projecting your demise. And with the 10 of Swords right here, I feel like your critics now currently feel like they just want to backbite and want to come out into the open and savagely attack, simply because they were like undercover and hidden haters, and now it's all out in the open. So, you know, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it's better an enemy to your face than somebody in your camp. Horribly paraphrase. Oh, play. So have fun, celebrate, and don't be so serious. Yeah. So your energy currently, and you're encouraged to do, pile number one, is to celebrate. And how you are silencing actually the critics is by you playing, by you trying new things. What do kids do is they try, you know, they play cops and robbers, and they play, not so much anymore though. They play video games and Black Ops, and they play, you know, whatever it is that they're playing, but it's a new experience and a new journey. So I feel like for you, you're currently in this energy where maybe it seems like you're sitting in champagne. That's what it seems like right here. But don't be so serious. Allow your mind and your heart to play, because this is really how you are silencing your critics, is by having a little bit of levity in your energy. And yeah, because I did feel like nervousness and kind of like an oppression, or almost like, yeah, don't speak out because that's going to be bad, that kind of a thing. So if you were silenced by the energy, simply the energy can actually shut people up. Pile number one, then I really want to say I am sorry for you. I definitely feel that as well. I've experienced it myself. And oh, nice. So we have right here, pile number one, Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations in divine plan. So continue planning, continue knowing that you are divinely protected. I also want to point out pile number 1, that in playing, quote playing, that is your time to learn, getting a learning curve, and also just having some fun and getting some energy out. So in spite of like knowing that, you know, you have people that want to heckle or whatever, just continue doing you. Trust in the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? In spite of all the clouds, and it almost seems like you're a person praying, so you could have like some ancestor help breaking through here for you and breaking through the clouds and the fog and the doubt and so on and so forth. Trust the niggling. What is it trying to tell you? Is it that you need to make a bigger move? Is it that you need to change something? Is it, you know, time for you to explore other avenues and play with that energy as well? Trust that, because that is where things are headed. Wow, look at that. So pile number 1, you have the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, and soul tribe. What is that song? I think it was like Celine Dion. It's all coming back, I think. Anyways, your tribe on the other side is definitely orchestrating and moving things around. And even though things might appear like painful and dismal, and I know you've shed some tears, and maybe currently, pile number 1, you are carrying some sadness. I'm just going to say that in this great plane that you really can't even decipher in the vastness of the universe and the skies and the heavens. I'm going to say that your ancestors and other entities on the other side are really, it's like a master plan, a master class. They're really orchestrating things for your greater good currently. So I'm being told to tell you that you're incredibly loved, that you're incredibly supported. Even if you feel shaky and things are not perfect right now, don't worry so much about it, because what belongs to you will never be taken away. Pile number 1. Your last card right here. Yeah, what's up? That's what's up. Pile number 1, warrior woman or man. We don't read for sex. We read energy right here. And it's like you have one eye on everything. Have you answered your deepest calling? You are a warrior. Proceed. Proceed in spite of anything that you see around you that is oppositional. Continue pursuing your dream, because you have the clarity, the wisdom, the mental agility to navigate that. But also with all this pink, I feel like love coming through. Love is supporting you. And make sure that you pause to give gratitude to your ancestors if you do offerings, whatever it is that you do. But I just want you to know that you have love encouraging you and supporting you right now. So when you feel fearful, when you feel jittery, when you feel like you have wobbly bambino legs, go ahead and stand up anyways and do it anyways, because your people are here for you. They are present, and they are also being attracted and drawn to you. So that's what I have for you. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot. I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, welcome to my channel. If you're new or if you're a repeat offender, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the interactions, all the like, shares, comments, subscribes, all of that stuff. Pile number 2, you chose this beautiful image on the right-hand side of the screen. And I'm going to tell you, I almost didn't use it. I've been looking at it forever, just like extremely riveted on it. But I'm going to say pile number 2. The first thing is that you are embracing your North Node as well. I feel like similar to pile number 1. But I also feel like people are starting to understand that you love whatever this thing is, your dream, your vision. I feel like people are really starting to warm up to you also. And they're starting to embrace you as well. I definitely feel like whatever it is that you are doing, you do it with so much love that it could be very therapeutic, very healing. You could be in the healing arts. You could be my acupuncturist, massage therapist, you know, energy workers, light workers, tarot readers, anything like that. So not to limit. But I'm going to go ahead and find out for you a little bit about the critics, okay? So let's find out how you are silencing the critics in 3, 2, 1. Hi, pile number 2. How are you silencing the critics? Let's find out. I'm going to light a little bit more incense just because I can. I need to take a little mini break. I ran an errand. So it could be pile number 2 that when people see you next, after you disappear or you go on silent mode, you are slightly different, but people can't put their eye on it, or they can't like put their finger on it. They can't quite tell what is different about you. Pile number 2, you have the Empress. You have the Three of Wands. You have the Moon. And you have the Hermit. Okay. So let's see if we can get in here a little bit better. That's as good as it gets, huh? So pile number 2, I'm going to say that you've really gone within. People don't really know what's going on, but for all intents and purposes, we have the Three of Wands right here in the upright, and we have the Empress. And this tells me that maybe you've been waiting on betterment. You've been working on betterment, not waiting. Although with the Three of Wands, this obviously could indicate a waiting period of time. But the Empress just really indicates to me that you've been all the queens. We don't read sex on this channel. We definitely read energy. So you've been clear with your communication. You've been fired up with the Queen of Wands. You've been on a mission, if you will. You've been a Queen of Pentacles, just methodical, thoughtful about how you're going to progress. I heard strategy, so maybe you're working on your strategy as well. And I do feel like there's a little bit of waiting, because even though you've been like doing all this, there's a little bit of a waiting. And I feel like you're waiting on the benefits of this, or even acknowledgement or something. Now, the interesting part about this is that the waiting portion is facing the moon. What are we waiting on, right? What are we waiting for? It looks like a big old cookie that somebody took a bite out of it. Pile number 2, I feel like you have been waiting for maybe perhaps the right time to reveal what it is that you're working on, maybe to, and this is what I was feeling. I feel like these are kind of flipped over. It's almost like you went into hibernation, into hermit mode, if you will, and you did some studying, processing, healing, so on and so forth. You started working on your shadow work. Something about your throat chakra, I feel like, is about to be revealed. And so maybe what this is really stating is that you've been waiting to really communicate what it is that's been hidden from other people, or maybe even hidden in plain sight. What is it that has been overlooked by other people? That is another interpretation. Keep in mind, pile number 2, as you well know, that these are simply collective readings. They are not private readings. If you want those, you can check out my Etsy shop in the comments below. But we have the Hermit energy right here. Yeah, you've gone deep within. And maybe you tend to be one of those people that kind of like fade in and out of the public eye, right? I feel like with the Three of Wands right here, maybe a lot of people are waiting for you to come back out of hibernation. And they're not really quite understanding what's going on. But I do feel like you've been working on your independence, on your wealth. The Empress can be also a mother. So if you've taken any time off of work after having a baby, or paternity leave, whatever your deal is, right? I'm just going to say that the world is waiting for you to reveal more about yourself. So it's really interesting. I do feel like you have people currently a little bit intrigued, and that is how you are silencing the critics. It's a little bit like the critics are like, hush, hush, be quiet, pile number 2. And then all of a sudden, when you go about your business and do your thing, and you are feeling decompressed and relaxed and really abundant with whatever it is that you have, and understand pile number 2, and I know that you guys really do get this, a lot of you guys do, is like feeling abundant isn't about having everything that you want, everything you need necessarily, but it's really being content and aware of everything that you currently have and being grateful for those things, including resources, extended resources, and so on and so forth. Now, this dress almost looks to me like a road, and it's like you could be traveling a road lined with trees. That could be a significance for some of you guys. And I heard actually the road less traveled. So maybe people are waiting for you to pop up from the road less traveled. And they want to know what's really going on. Because with the moon, this can indicate deception, right? Deception. But I do feel like in this case, it's just more of the, you know, going incognito or waiting or just attending to your own things and not really allowing other people to see what is going on with you and so on and so forth. With the Empress and the Hermit kind of tidying things up right here, maybe it has been one of those things where you are energetically experiencing a metamorphosis. I'm feeling also like not butterfly energy, but moth energy. So a little bit of you guys who tend to be a little bit darker like myself. Hey. But I'm going to say pile number 2 that maybe you withdrew, went in and did some tending to your own heart and so on and so forth in order to really kind of pull out weeds and garbage that you don't need any longer. And then, of course, to really harvest and tend to what it is that you are allowing to bloom forward in your life. This is going to be really different from everybody, and we'll try to get a little bit more specific in just a moment. So pile number 2, we have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Yeah. And look, I kind of did a pre-shuffle and this one came out a little bit earlier and I felt like it was going to come out. Now, with the Age of Light, I really feel like you could have a tendency to be drawn into geometric shapes, geometric patterns, sacred geometry, healing, and so on and so forth. Whenever I see a triangle, I think about, of course, the Great Pyramids. I also think about the, quote, conspiracy theories, right? Especially about pyramids being in Sedona that are blocked off from public view and so on and so forth. But also, I think about how it is one of the strongest structures, if not the strongest structure in the world. And I almost feel like this is talking about how to really line yourself up. It is through having a pyramid on your head. So this is out there, but bear with me. So I watched a TikTok and it talked about someone was saying that they was questioning AI, how to escape the matrix and so on and so forth. And on this one, the AI was saying, well, go ahead and you'll have to create a pyramid and all this other stuff and stand under the pyramid in order to kind of line yourself up. I don't know. Horribly paraphrased, but you get the gist. Coco, he's excited for you, by the way. Coco loves that you are currently visible in the Age of Light. Pile number 2, the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. Yeah, so I'm going to say pile number 2, I feel like you've undergone like a lot of heartache, a lot of purging, a lot of trying to sift through like what is left, like remnants and things like that. And I feel like you've done this work, you know, the shadow work. And you've even questioned source and God and spirit and whomever it is that you have a connection with. And I'm going to say that you just really felt like you had to kind of let it all out and allow spirit to see what's in your heart. And it could be that you felt like this road that you've been traveling on has been really unfair, that people don't understand, they misunderstand you. And that's why you've been kind of secretive or you know, taking care of things a little bit in the dark. But I can't help but feel like with the Empress, she's traditionally pregnant. The pregnant Empress is taking care of a baby within her womb. Now, whether that is a 3D baby, a child, or whether this is your birthing of something new, like a business or a collaboration or whatever thing it is, I just feel like you've been doing this in the dark and kind of, you know, not like hiding or anything, but I mean, in order to really think you're clearest, you have to withdraw from public eye and energy and things like that in order to do whatever you need to do. And Spirit's just really confirming that you are the ever unfolding rose, and to know that in spite of everything that's really happened, and if you feel like you've had your heart break many times, as many of us have, that this is happening for you. It is to expose this incredibly beautiful rose for the world, not just you. I hate to put it like that, but I feel like it's happening for you, not to you. But it's also a gift to other people in your life and to humanity in general. Pile number 2, I'm looking at this and I feel like there's something very I heard religious, but very sacred about what it is that you're currently involved in. And I'm just really grateful that you are here, first of all. And I'm grateful that you're willing to undergo the many hardships. I kind of feel emotional. I'm not going to lie. Just the hardships and the waiting and the doubting and the so on and so forth to lay this foundation for the rest of us. And I feel like you are having people peeking through in order to applaud you, and even people peeking through with their own trials and tribulations, but that they've done the work. Pile number 2, I feel like you are the seed that is cracked open for all to view. In other words, it is that seed that has a really tough layer on the outside. And if you wait for it to really have the elements disintegrate it, it's going to be forever. But instead, if you grab a little hammer and you give it a couple of whacks, pile number 2, I'm just going to say, if you do that, you are more able to get through the center of that little kernel, and you can actually do the whole fertilizing and everything else, and that plant will grow faster. It'll germinate easier. So I definitely feel like it has not been and has not been a very easy time or place for you. But I'm here to tell you that you have a lot of support, that you have laid, that you are, okay. Pile number 2, here's what it is in a nutshell, in a seed shell. You guys are, you know, like the founding fathers. You are the founding fathers, the founding mothers, the founding collectives of this new thing. And I feel, ooh, I'm getting the chills, and hair on my left-hand side of my head is standing straight up. So I'm just going to say that you are being recognized and acknowledged for having massive breakthrough, not just within yourself, but in the world around you. So whatever you have endured, whatever you have gone through, it is meant to affect the masses as well. And so keep doing whatever it is that you're doing. You are almost on the verge of seeing sunlight. And it's going to be so beautiful. And just know, pile number 2, that you're surrounded by so much love and so much generational support. And Coco's hacking in the background, sorry. Even he is supporting you, pile number 2. What else do we have? What do we have here? How are we silencing the critics? The 7 of Swords and the Moon. Yeah. So this kind of confirms what we talked about a little bit with this moon. I felt like these cards were reversed somehow in my heart. But I'm going to say that you indeed went within. And I feel like you have been busy integrating your positive and negative polarity and really experiencing what that looks like in the real 3D world. Now, many of us have grown up with the whole idea of this is good, this is bad, so on and so forth. And we like to think that, yeah, we've made peace with, well, sometimes, you know, social expectations aren't right. But I feel like in order to really implement this in your life, it's been a lot more difficult and a lot less like, oh yeah, that's just kind of normal. So I feel like you withdrew entirely and you wrestled with yourself. Like, is this the dog? Is this the wolf? I don't really know. It was a great mystery. It's all about following your intuition. And then we have the 7 of Swords. So after you wrestled with self and with whatever demons you had going on within yourself, I really feel like you decided, okay, I'm gonna, you know, and endure this path, and this path is going to be the path that is less traveled, but it is meant for me. It is for me. So pile number 2, let's see what else we have. And sorry about the long reading. I know it is not really what people necessarily want. I think they came out like this, but it doesn't matter. So, oh, 3, hello. Cool. Okay, so with the 5 of Cups right here, just because I started staring at it first, I feel like you've had to walk away from things. I feel like you do miss the times sometimes when it feels like you're mourning things that are long gone, the times when you could easily get along with other people. Maybe your belief system has entirely changed, pile number 2. And if that's not for you, then this may not be your reading at all, because I feel like it's a total transformation. And I feel like maybe once in a while you could miss that, but how you're transforming and how you are silencing the critics is your ability to really walk away, the ability to celebrate even moments in the past where maybe they weren't the best for you, or, you know, even if they were good for you, that you're celebrating those, but you're looking future forward. And really with the connection and the idea of who is with me with the 2 of Cups right over here, And that has given you renewed vitality. But I do feel like pile number 2, that you're silencing critics as well. With the 5 of Cups right here, I see the raven standing on that 1 cup, protecting it. Very protective. And I feel like you see all. And the tip of the beak on this raven is, it looks like it might be missing or just shy of. So I'm going to say that maybe these people haven't really heard you speak on a lot. And you have like Jiminy Cricket right here, that big old cricket, and that, and the original book was I think it was a conscience, if I remember correctly. So I do feel like maybe you might be speaking against other people's conscience as well, whether deliberate or not, it doesn't really make a difference. And that a lot of emotion is coming into the forefront currently. And then we're going to end it with this Queen of Wands that was hiding there in plain sight all along. Pile number 2, I feel like that's you. I feel like you are being highly esteemed, highly seen. And, you know, these cats kind of crack me up because they're like, they're no shed cats. I forget what they're called. But they're supposed to be like hypoallergenic kitties and so on and so forth. And so I feel like maybe people, if they've had a, quote, allergic reaction to your persona, your personality, or who you were, or they tried to stuff you in a little tiny box, or in a little place in life where you felt like you just never fit in anyways, they're just now starting to understand that you are actually the Queen of Wands. I feel like pile number 2, that you're getting your mojo back. It might be little by little, or you might still suffer some, I don't know, my nerves feel kind of like they're flickering on and off. So somebody here could have like nerve damage or be battling with something to do with the nerves. So that might like come and go for you. But I definitely feel like you are being seen as a Queen of Wands, as a mover and the shaker. I feel like people have renewed respect for you. And it's incredibly beautiful. You are definitely on the right path. I feel like you are very driven, very focused, and you're silencing people because now they really totally underestimated you. I feel like a lot of people are going, I never even knew them. Like pile number 2, who is that now? I never even knew them. So that is what I have for you. Please do give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for your time. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this beautiful image on the right hand side of the screen. And I have to say that I am the most excited to read for you. I'm intrigued as far as this image goes, so maybe you are as well. Pile number 3. I didn't get a lot of downloads, but I definitely got a couple. And with you, I get intensity. I also heard glowing up, but also polarization. So I feel like you have an incredibly polarized situation, I'm hearing, but also a polarized countenance, maybe even a look. So we're not sure where this is going to go just yet, but hear me out. I'm going to go for the shuffle and I'll be right with you. Hi, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. How are you silencing the critics? We're about to find out. Pile 3. You have the 4 of Swords. You have the Page of Cups. You have the Queen of Swords. You have the 9 of Pentacles. So pile number 3, with the 4 of Swords and the Page of Cups, it seems like you have really withdrawn your energy. Maybe you were healing. And it seems like, well, for me anyways, the 4 of Swords is really about thinking about the 3 of Swords that originally hurt you. So you could be in recuperation from like a heartbreak, heartache, anything like that. But also it could have to do with anything that needs healing, right? If you had any surgeries, or if you just need some self-care because you're burnt out, things like that. If you've had a child, that would also count. in that category with the Page of Cups right here. I view this as like a child or your creative energy, or it could indicate even a child that you have. And we have the moon here with the fish. So a lot of times the Page of Cups is thought of as an apology. With that, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. And pile number 3, what I have right here is this apology right here could be brought about with the Queen of Swords. So maybe this can be interpreted a couple of different ways. Keep in mind that I am optimistically reading for the masses, pile number 3. So it could indicate an apology that is expected from you to someone else. But now you are silencing the critics because no apology is forthcoming. So somebody could want to bring war to you. That could be one interpretation. Another way to interpret it is that you are really trying to heal and withdrawing your energy and sort through things. And your creativity is really, I feel like burnout. I feel experiencing a little bit of burnout, tapped out, that kind of a thing. So you withdraw your energy and you've gone in to get clarity, the clarity that you need, and to really figure out the best way to make it through this time in your life, this era. Keep in mind, these are timeless again. And these are not personal readings. These are, you know, community readings. Sorry. What do you call them again? They're for the masses, whatever. Pile number 3. We have the Nine of Pentacles right here with the Queen of Swords. And I feel like this really can lend itself to a lot of different scenarios, but for my guys watching as well. So listen, we have you withdrawing and maybe trying to tap into your creativity and trying to figure out really how to bring about the most clarity, gaining clarity, and having an ability to really decipher your own BS from other people's as well. So I feel like really this is a lot of inner work, and how can I master my wealth? This is the Nine of Pentacles, is about getting your wealth, feeling comfortable in the world. This could be considered a little bit of a bougie card and so on and so forth. But I feel like a lot of you guys are thinking about money, and maybe, you know, your assets, anything like that would count as well. So I kind of want to get a little bit more clarity. These readings are already a little bit longer than I thought, but here we are. We're still jumping into the fray. Pile number 3. Just hold on. Hold on with me. Pile number 3. A little bit more clarity here. How are we silencing the critics for pile number 3? And show me now. You are juggling. Oh, you are bringing clarity, and you are doing a lot of different things. Now, what do you experience? Like burnout, maybe sadness, some depression, some tiredness. But I feel like this is all lifting. And if it hasn't just yet, you're on the precipice of that going away, my friends. And of course, as always, seek professional help if you need it. I always am an advocate for that. But pile number 3, let's get in here. So we have the Two of Pentacles, and you've been really masterfully juggling two very big and different things. So this could be like family and a job, family and school. This could be 2 different jobs. This could be two different schools. So whatever this fits with you, I feel like this is lending itself to clarity simply because you're able to really sort out and figure out, wow, I could actually really do this. I have the mastery for it. I have the skill, and I've fumbled and I've tripped and I've fallen, but now I'm to the level where I can actually juggle these 2 of Pentacles and keep them both going. And it's a fun thing to do, and it takes a lot of skill. And I feel like you've genuinely earned these things. But I also feel, pile number 3, that with the King of Swords here, this could be even somebody else coming into the picture to help you. Okay, with the King of Swords, this could be a couple, whether male, female, or a male, female. I don't care. Again, reading energy. I'm just going to say that you could have somebody coming into the mix right here, and you are about to silence the critics as well. Because maybe somebody said, well, the way that you're working things out, you've been single for so long with your Nine of Pentacles right here, working on your own thing and being bougie over here and taking care of, you know, it's like almost like hating because you're doing well, hating because you're abundant, hating because you're a hard worker, hating because you're going to bring a lot of tricks to the trade, or something like that. You get the point. Pile number 3, I feel like you have people that have looked at your skill and they're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But you're over here juggling. Like if there's a circus to be performed and you're going to be able to fit right in. Whereas everybody else is like, well, I've seen the circus. I can spell it maybe, you know, but you're like, yep, I can juggle it too. Watch. So I love this energy for you. Pile number 3. I do feel like you have an incredibly keen mind. I hear scholastic. So you could be a lifelong learner, and I love that for you. We're going to get a little bit closer right here. And we have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, and divine plan. So you're definitely a part of the divine plan. I feel like you could be getting your downloads and energy from spirit, that things are really going to come full circle for you. And you're getting the mental clarity with all of these sword suits right here present in order to really promote your, I feel like your love child. Why is it coming across that way? For a lot of you guys that are like birthing like new businesses or entertainment or ideas, yeah, any side business and so on and so forth. So how are you silencing the critics? Mirror, who or what is triggering you? So it's really interesting to me because when people get really like pissed with you, any one of us anyways, I always think, well, is there a measure of truth? Why are they so passionate about it? Why are they so upset? And I definitely feel like you could be serving as a mirror to a multitude. I'm looking at this right here. If we get closer, to me, it looks like an eyeball right there, right? Where this lady is like playing with the water. And it's really hard to tell which way is up and which way is down and who is who. But I feel like pile number 3, you are definitely here by design to be a mirror for other people. I feel like other people can actually literally see themselves in you. And sometimes that's why people get their panties all in a bunch. I can't help but look at her bathing suit back here. I'm like, is it bunched? So, sorry, I failed to mention that I am actually a 13-year-old boy trapped in a female body. So, yeah, I do feel like you have onlookers and people that are, you know, hate watching, and that does come through in the channel quite a bit. So I heard famous for that. Okay. Well, it doesn't make a difference. Pile number 3, because I feel like you are definitely silencing the critics effectively. The whole point is for them to look in the mirror. And I feel like it is working. You continue focusing on yourself the way you have been, because that is destined. This came out in pile number 2. So 5 of Cups, yeah, leaving something and having a lot of sadness over what you've left behind. And maybe right now with this healing card, you're in the slump of like recovery. You're here and you're going through it emotionally, and maybe you're transmuting some some sorrow and things like that, right? Some sadness. But you have 2 cups left. And with the 8 of Cups, yeah, you've had to walk away from something or someone or some things and someone's. And I feel like right now you might be processing things in a way that maybe in a way that just kind of compounds the sadness. So it's going to be really important to be gentle with yourself, pile number 3, because I'm hearing that these things were meant to be, that you're not just like abandoning this. With the 8 of Cups, you really tried diligently. That's somebody who made a lot of effort, time, energy went into this. Pile number 3, you poured each and every one of those little cups to be measured perfectly. You tested the temperatures. You really made the glasses seem like beautiful and so on and so forth. You put a lot of effort in it, and yet it didn't give you the emotional reciprocation that you expected, the emotional fulfillment that you wanted. And that's why you, pile number 3, are on the move. But how you are silencing the critics is that you moved away, that maybe you left a job, left the home, left your country, whatever it was, and you dealt with your own emotions, because there's a lot of emotion there regarding what you have left behind, maybe even some self-judgment there. But pile number 3, if it wasn't making you happy, if it didn't fulfill your heart, then I'm just going to ask, did not other people go on their own journeys to fulfill their hearts at different points in times? And most of the time, pile number 3, I would bet money that they did it without a second thought to anyone else around them, or at least they didn't really consider you. So what I have right here is that you do have the 2 of Cups right here. I feel like this is soulmate connection. We're going to find out what this is. This card actually jumped from the deck, and I decided to keep it. It's the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah. And it came up reversed. So maybe you're going through a time where you're not working as hard. You're taking a little time out. I'm going to put it in the upright because it's so pretty. I want you to see it. and so on and so forth. But the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. And I'm going to say that maybe perhaps part of the sorrow is that you took a really big risk on yourself. And how you are silencing the critics is that they're starting to see that you are doing really well, that you have your mental capacity, like you're super mentally agile. But maybe things have been slower than what you expected or what they expected. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Yeah. So things could have been really slow and progressing, but I feel like that is turning around, especially with the Nine of Pentacles right here. I think that money has been slow in coming to you, but you're gaining a lot of wisdom on how to make that happen. And with this bird right here, I don't know if that's a parrot or I don't know what it's called. Sorry. I love birds, but I don't know my birds. Oh my gosh, Crystal. Anyways, stay on track. So I'm just going to say that maybe this is talking about how you're gaining wisdom and knowledge and how to really hone whatever it is that you are doing. And maybe even bring it to where you don't have to juggle two things, but you're doing one main thing. And so it could indicate that you have chosen to leave a job or somehow, some way, like a job loss, and you are on a new journey of integration of all of your skills and things like that in order to bring about one massive thing that is going to generate you great wealth. I'm looking at the cat that is actually her dress. Can you guys see it? I like want to bring it closer. Look at how pretty that is. But this cat, this like great mystery is here for you. And I feel like just touching and tuning into the moon, to your emotions and nature is going to help ground you. And it's going to help to reveal itself to you as well. So you have all the resources if you are in doubt and if you're not employed currently or if something's going on with your job. Because that might be a possibility. But have no fear. Look, yeah, you're going to have to make a choice. It seems a choice on the Lovers, and it could be on a job or literally lovers, things that you love, people that you love, and so on and so forth. Life is full of choices. With the Devi, and it could be something that you are obsessed, riveted on, focused on. This person almost looks like they are wearing a mask as well. So this could be you, that you are riveted on something in order to kind of promote yourself or move forward in life. And then we have balance. So pile number 3, make sure that you, I always feel bad about like lecturing, but you know, you do what works for you. But with the Devil card, you have a tendency to like rivet, latch onto something and really go for it and just be almost a little bit enslaved by this idea or whatever it is. Whatever your passion is at the current time, you could be locked and loaded, whatever that means, okay? So you're totally riveted, but make sure that you try to obtain a little bit of objectivity, a little bit of levity as well would do you some good with your wisdom, with the white hair right here. I feel like that would help you to have a little bit more balance and just being riveted on whatever this work is or whatever you're trying to bring about into the world. You're following your North Node. Pile number 3, one last card because the other two readings ran longer. Here we are. And then the Two of Cups. What? Look, darlings. Pile number 3, you have the Two of Cups. I feel like how you are silencing the critics is that not only are you chasing your dream or you're doing whatever it is that is good for you at this point in time and leaving things that are toxic and repetitive and going nowhere, but you're obtaining soul mate. So this could be just like one person, or you're attracting a soul mate, somebody who really has the same energy, matching your energy. You're bringing about situations that match your energy, colors that go well together, red and green, and how you see eye to eye to one another, how you are just almost like birds of a feather type of thing. So I love this for you. I feel a lot of connectivity, I heard a lot of applause. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you feel comfortable, drop in the comments below. If not, that's not a problem. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste.